Good evening. This is Maestro with a Dawn of War 2 Retribution Elite Modcast. Today, we have a 1v1 on Vulcan Pits. Our first player is going to be RedRupee, playing as the Techmarine, a Space Marine ranged hero with a gun for every occasion and the ability to repair vehicles. His opponent is going to be Swift, playing as the Plague Champion. This is a rather similar hero for Chaos, ranged to start out, but can get melee weapons later on, can also heal and repair. So then, a nice long 1v1 ahead of us. RedRupee, fellow caster. At this point, I think most of you who are following probably do know that, but you should go check him out at his channel. He is splitting his time between Dawn of War 2 as well as Iron Harvest, the new Relic-style real-time strategy game that has recently been released. Anyway, Heretics on the approach here, but they've already lost so much of their health on approach. I think the Tactical Marines can commit to this, especially if the Techmarine comes in to provide some support. Yeah. So that was just went to show you just how much range damage the Techmarine does have coming out of his starting build there. The combination of Tactical Marines as well as the Techmarine himself doing half of the damage to that Heretic squad on their approach. Meanwhile, the Tac squad now definitely outgunned, sitting in cover, but they are being hit by the damage over time from the Techmarine bolter. They've got less health to work with, and they're putting out less damage than the combination of the Chaos Space Marine squad as well as the Plague Champion. And we managed to see pretty much a perfect retreat. Kept them in there. Well, you could argue that maybe he kept them in there too long in the sense that, no, I think it was pretty much a perfect retreat. He bought as much time as he possibly could have without losing a single model, and that kept the Chaos Space Marines or the Plague Champion from doing too much damage to the generator or getting any decaps on any other points around the map. We even see this requisition point for RedRupee that could have been given up if the Tactical Marines had been forced off a little bit earlier. That being said, I think Swift is on his way to probably winning this engagement. We see, the Techmarine's going to get overwhelmed here. Heretics in melee with him just puts an overwhelming amount of damage on him, along with the range damage of the Chaos Space Marines and the Plague Champion. The Scouts also incredibly outmatched here, and I think for the most part they should just be looking... They'll disengage entirely without actually having to even retreat, so that's actually not bad for them, and they'll buy enough time there for the Tactical Marines to get out on the field. Heretics, meanwhile, are pretty much unopposed here. It looks like they'll be going for decapping the requisition point. I think it would be worth their time, personally, to actually try to bash this power node. Actually, with the way the Techmarine is coming out now, those Heretics probably would have been intercepted before they had completed the job. So it's been kind of like a rather slow opening for these players, obviously, with... the Techmarine has a very ranged-heavy opening, and ranged is, in my opinion, generally reliable, because you can shoot from a distance, but ranged in general, ranged units have lower base DPS values than melee units, so we haven't really seen anything too exciting going on. We haven't seen any squads get close to wiped. We've seen Tactical Marines go down to 2 models. But it's been a pretty slow opening fight. These players, they're kind of just... How do we say it? It's like they're kind of shooting Nerf guns at each other, maybe. The game just hasn't escalated enough at this point in this particular matchup where anything really that exciting is going to happen. Meanwhile, the Techmarine is definitely outmatched here. He's going for Bionics, so it was interesting to see. Like, if he's letting the Techmarine be in melee that long, it looks like the intention there is to use Powerful Sweep with Bionics, but it did not upgrade fast enough. Alright, Scouts will be suppressed, so they will just retreat out of there. And these days, I do feel like I most commonly see the Artificer armor more commonly from Techmarine players in Tier 1. Artificer armor providing more health as well as health regeneration, so it gives the Techmarine a lot of on-the-field sustain. So Bionics is something where if you're going to commit to that in Tier 1, it says either one of two things. That first, it could be indicating a melee Techmarine build later on, or it could just be that you really want that disruption because you want to punish melee units for being in melee. Oh my god. Okay, things are getting now a little too exciting. Tactical Marines there could have gone down, kind of saved there by the powerful sweep from the Bionics. So in that case, powerful sweep was saved for the Raptors, disrupted them at a time when the Tactical Marines were in trouble. I would say, though, I think the Tactical Marines were already overextended and should have been retreated a little bit earlier, even before the Raptors had jumped in. So RedRupee going with a rather short Tier 1. Scout, Tac, Scout, upgrades on some of those units, but no Tier 1.5 unit. We have a single squad of Shotgun Scouts also upgraded with a Heretic Squad Leader. So this is obviously a Scout Squad that's going to be very committed to being with RedRupee's main army, which is it's going to be around the Techmarine as well as the Tactical Marines, provide that defensive utility of the Shotgun Blast. In this case, actually using it offensively, knocking them out of cover. That puts the Plague Champion in a pretty compromising position. There's a chance there if he might finish him off, but the Force Melee from the Chaos Space Marines prevents the Tactical Marines from finishing off the Plague Champion. Meanwhile, Techmarine is here by himself in melee with the Heretics, not using Powerful Sweep at the moment, but at the same time, he doesn't have much energy, which also would kind of suggest that Powerful Sweep might have already been used and on cooldown. Well, it's not that he doesn't have much energy, but he doesn't have full energy. And RedRupee going with a Librarian. Very interesting to see that. You know, I've been thinking a lot about the Space Marine Tier 2 lately, and generally in team games, I think generally the Dreadnought with the Assault Cannon is generally your best choice, but in 1v1 games, I really think it's just the Razorback, and the Techmarine's going to go down here. Most likely 1 hit point. Oh my god, he's not... Okay, he is going to go down. And especially in situations where you have a bit of a tech lead, I feel like the Librarian is... Not the Librarian, actually, the Razorback is probably the strongest overall choice for the Space Marine Tier 2. The Librarian is personally a pretty strange one, especially in a Devastator-less build from RedRupee. Normally, if you do see a Librarian, it usually is to empower Devastators with the Veil of Time. But that being said, there's still some reasonable applications to the Librarian here, even without going for Devastators. There is Smite, which can be used to good effect against pretty much any of the squads, particularly the Heretics. Plague Champion needs to be very careful here. Does Swift see this happening? If he loses the Plague Champion here, oh no. That is very, very unfortunate, and also a very, very unnecessary Plague Champion death right there. Definitely something where he was very much just caught not responding in time. Like, I feel like the Plague Champion had something like 200, 300 health when the Shotgun Scouts first started shooting at him. If they had simply... If he had simply retreated the Plague Champion when he had that much more health, there would have been no chance for the Shotgun Scouts to actually finish him off. Swift going for a Dreadnought, meanwhile. We have Plasma Gun on the Tactical Marines. So, obviously, there is Smite. There is also just the Techmarine, the Librarian. Oh, so there, yeah, very good use of Smite right there, scaring off the Chaos Space Marines. That'll force the Chaos Space Marines to retreat. Even in spite of the fact that there was Heretic Worship there would have been follow-up from the Plasma attacks, and that would have definitely threatened to take out one of the models on the Chaos Space Marine squad. I mean, it's my personal opinion that I don't feel the Librarian is the strongest purchase in this situation, but I do feel that it can still work. But that being said, with the Dreadnought out on the field, RedRupee eventually will need more to respond to that Dreadnought, and he already has the knowledge that the Dreadnought is on its way because it passed by the Scout Squad. So this is also something where it makes it a little bit unfortunate that he committed to the Missile Launcher TAC Squad, and he might not even keep the TAC Squad! Oh no! This is also looking pretty suspect for the Librarian as well. Getting pretty low here. Oh my god, if the Librarian goes down here, he does. Oh no. Oh no. That is pretty rough there. Losing a TAC Squad and losing the Librarian in that engagement. Don't lose the Techmarine on top of that. Oh my god. That's a pretty close call. So, anyway, generators are being taken down. Scouts trying to do something about that. RedRupee actually going straight to tier 3, though. What a madman. Now, the Chaos Dreadnought generally isn't regarded as the strongest choice for Chaos these days, so... I mean, I know it does sound like I'm criticizing things a lot, and maybe to some extent I am. You know, to some extent, players will just... They just try different things in 1v1 games. They don't necessarily go for the same thing every time. But I do feel that what I have seen so far here hasn't been, like, the optimal choices. Usually for Chaos players, you know, you see a Blood Crusher usually, and I feel a Blood Crusher could have worked out well, but I mean, so far the Dreadnought has done things too, so. And we see RedRupee also going for the Plasma Gun. Now, on the one hand, the Plasma Gun going to be certainly very, very powerful against the Chaos Space Marines, and I actually feel the Chaos Space Marines with no mark here, they have an Aspiring Champion. And do they have a yeah, they have Eternal War. I actually feel that that is not particularly strong against what Rupee has. They're going to lose quite handily to the Techmarine. And I don't think they'll be doing that well against... Oh, just kidding. The Plasma Attack Squad is not here anymore. I was actually going to say that I don't know how well the Chaos Space Marines will do against the Plasma Attack Squad. But they are not here. And Rupee needs to answer the Dreadnought. Like, it has currently been unanswered. He might actually just be going for saving up... I was going to say saving up for a Predator. You know what? He still can do that. He could still save up for a Predator and just bring out a Predator, and that could actually be his answer to the Dreadnought. Yeah, powerful sweep going to be used there. The Techmarine is... Oh, no, he's overextending again. I think that could be another dead Techmarine. Force melee. Yep. No, wow. Go tier 3, get a Dreadnought.
We are losing a requisition point to the enemy.
Yeah, wait. Oh, did he cancel tier 3? No, that's tier 3. Yeah, that's tier 3. Go tier 3, get Dreadnought. I can't say I personally approve. Like, I feel like a Predator... You put out a Predator right here. Swift is still in tier 2. Predator does actually hard counter the Dreadnought. More so once you get the las cannon upgrade, but even in autocannon Predator, I do personally view as an answer to the Dreadnought. I think generally at this point in the game, you kind of have them out-trading each other, or not out-trading, but trading each other in ranged. And the autocannon on the Predator, I think in the short term, they do kind of trade a little inconclusively, but in the long term, I think even an autocannon Predator would work. But and then also, if you actually just go for the las cannon, then that absolutely just hard counters the Dreadnought. At any rate, RedRupee just wants to go for a Dreadnought of his own. He's going to get out some Devastator Marines as well. Most likely going to be looking for a las cannon on that. And yeah, this kind of puts him... getting the Dreadnought, especially the tier 3 Space Marine Dreadnought, not getting Venerable. It's kind of an awkward situation here, because we see the Dreadnought trying to approach, so it actually just gets focused down in range by the Chaos Dreadnought, which can actually do damage to the Space Marine Dreadnought in ranged. And it's actually going to be switching over to the Mark of Tzeentch. So what also happens... Oh, it's taking shots from the las cannon while it's upgrading. That is very not ideal. Oh, no. Like, he needs to get it out of here. He needs to get it out of the range of the las cannon. He doesn't even have it out of range of the las cannon. Oh, God. This is actually a dead Chaos Dreadnought already. Wow. So Swift continuing, actually, with the continue actually to use the Chaos Space Marines unmarked. Tries to commit melee against the Techmarine. It's gonna be the Techmarine going down again. Oh no. Okay, I think he actually won't go down, which it really looked like he was going to go down again. 2 Raptor models will go down as well. At some point, there was also an Aspiring Champion there. I don't remember if the Aspiring Champion was killed in this particular engagement. Might we see a few more models go down on the Chaos Space Marines? Grenades in retreat. I feel like the models actually kind of dodged the grenade in retreat. Something about that retreat path actually worked out better for them. The lead model actually turned to the side. Forgot my upgrades immobilize me. We are in 2020. I don't know if maybe Swift just hasn't played in a long time, or maybe Chaos is not his primary race, so might have forgetting about that part. So, it's been an interesting game so far, and you know, I really don't mean to roast my boys here. I mean, RedRupee in particular is a good friend of mine. We cast together and stuff, but it's yeah. So things have happened, mistakes have been made. I'm not going to claim that I would do any better, but at least from a viewing perspective, things have been a little bit more. So things have definitely happened that I definitely did not expect them to. Double cap for RedRupee at the moment. And yeah, I mean, he went into Tier 3, but got Tier 2 units. So I haven't really felt too much of the impact of RedRupee's Tier 3 just yet. So maybe, just maybe, if he does get another fight win and gets some red, he can use an orbital bombardment. But Swift, on the other hand, he could have an Abyss waiting as well, since he's choosing to get a Predator. I'm honestly also questioning, like, I know before I was talking about how the Predator could hard counter the Dreadnought. That was the other way around when I was talking about the Space Marine Predator against the Chaos Dreadnought. It still kind of holds true here that a Chaos Predator would do well against a Space Marine Dreadnought. But I'm a little bit concerned here with the las cannon being out on the field. Swift he does have Raptors, so if he really does want to use the Predator, actually he does have the tools that he needs to try to make it work, which is as soon as the Predator gets focused down gets targeted by the las cannon, the Raptors need to jump in like right away. However, we see Swift kind of finding himself getting a little bit caught. RedRupee finding a good approach here, pushing in. The Chaos Space Marines ultimately not doing that well. However, the plasma attacks also taking some damage of their own. Oh my god, a model just going to get give there. Raptor's going to jump in, though. Okay, this is pretty good timing from Swift. Oh no, but they're targeting the... They were targeting the Dreadnought instead of the las cannon Devastator. RedRupee going to get the las cannon Devastator on out of there anyway. And as long as the las cannon Devastator is out of here, that's a very, very good situation for the Predator. Why is the Predator backing up? This is actually not the time at all to back up. Commit. Stay on the Dreadnought. Ooh. Those Heretic squads did not need to retreat either. At least one of them did not. I mean, this should actually be the Chaos Predator taking out the Dreadnought. Yeah, I believe it's only one more shot. Just, oh my god. Oh my god, it's targeting the scouts. It got a scout model. Okay. That's it. Yes, it shot through. It shot through the building. It shot through the building. Who did make this map, huh? Alright, anyway. I'm gonna... Like, I'm just gonna, you know, like, kind of get on my own, like, I don't know, sermon, pedestal thing, like, or distribute my propaganda. But if we're in Tier 3... I personally don't approve of unmarked Chaos Space Marines when you're playing against Space Marines. Just get Zinch. Just do it. Like, the amount of pressure that they will put on the tax if they go Zinch is so much more than what they could be doing now. And really just against any squad, actually. But especially against the tax. So RedRupee still the second scout squad. Wow. Level 2 Bolter scout squad. You don't see that every day, those Bolter Scouts. I mean, I'm sure just at some point they were contributing to some kills, but the amount that they actually contribute themselves is pretty small. So if we take a look at this map does have a somewhat similar design to Fedrid Folly. We're in the late game here. We have over 200 victory points left for both players, but, you know, we're pretty well into Tier 3. And, it's obviously easier to control the left side of the map than the right side of the map, so that is kind of what Swift is doing at the moment. So Swift, I wonder what Swift is looking for as well at this point. He's at the point where he's got 82 population. I feel like he might need to, like, not reinforce some heretic models if he wanted to get, like, another really big Tier 3 purchase. Alternatively, he could upgrade to Zinch and just get his Plague Champion back. All right, Raptors jump in. They will be most likely forcing off the Las Cannon Devastator. Yeah, the Las Cannon Devastator in so much trouble. The Raptors, they'll lose a model. Have to worry about losing another one. I think that... Okay, they did what they needed to do. They should have retreated a little bit earlier. They lost a few too many models there. They weren't quite retreated as early as they should have. And this late-game turret also making the engagement a little bit harder for Swift. But the turret also not covering the victory point. So, for the moment, Swift is finding a... Oh. I missed it somewhere, but RedRupee lost his Tactical Marine Squad. Anyway, so there's Swift's plan. So he is getting the Terminators. I actually think that's pretty strong for him at this point, especially with RedRupee having lost his Tactical Marine Squad. Oh no, and losing the Techmarine yet again. But RedRupee's going to make a play here. He's going to look for the kill on the Las Cannon Predator on the other side, which is pretty nice. And that is partly Swift kind of paying for not... For much of this game, he hasn't really had much actual dedicated anti-vehicle, so he didn't have anything like a Las Cannon Havoc or even a Plague Marine squad to scare off this... this Predator. Chaos Terminators teleport in aggressively, looking for some hits with their Power Fist. They actually do something like about 150-ish damage, but eventually the RedRupee does keep up his micro on the Predator, so he gets them out of there. And that's not actually a great situation for the Terminators without an autocannon. That being said, personally, with what we have going on here right now, I think it should eventually be an autocannon upgrade. But actually, one thing that kind of changes that is now the fact that we have Terminators from RedRupee. So now it's actually a little bit more... It could really go either way at this point. The autocannon on the Terminators actually isn't great against the Space Marine Terminators. Lightning Claws, on the other hand, very much so. But the Lightning Claw, not the autocannon Terminators would be very good against the Predator for just putting constant damage pressure on it. Las Cannon Havoc coming out here with only a single model. I mean, on the one hand, the Las Cannon Havoc doesn't... or the Las Cannon Devastator, rather. The Las Cannon Devastator doesn't have... Oh, the Las Cannon Devastator might be gone, though. Indeed it is. Okay. Yeah, in that case, I was trying to get words out, but they just couldn't seem to come out. I was going to talk about how the Las Cannon Devastator, it doesn't have a crucial role at the moment because of the fact that he already killed Swift's vehicles. But I don't think it was ideal to lose it, because I think you want to keep it around just in case Swift does get another vehicle. And this also clears the way for Swift to get some kind of other vehicle. Meanwhile, it's actually kind of insane to me that Swift also lost his Heretic Squad right there. He kind of overextended trying to bash the generator when those Terminators from RedRupee were kind of outnumbered there. All right, then. Terminator's going to move forward, probably looking for the cap on the contested victory point. As RedRupee is behind in the victory points. Swift has not had his Plague Champion for a while, though. Really not for a while at all. We could see. So the Terminators have chosen to go for the autocannon. And Swift is... Now, more than any other point in the game, we're finally at the point in the game with Space Marine Terminators out on the field. It is now completely undebatable about whether or not there should be a mark put on the Chaos Space Marines. With the Terminators out on the field, putting either mark on the Chaos Space Marines would absolutely 100% be objectively better than leaving them unmarked. Because Swift, otherwise, his best damage source against the Terminators would be the Raptors. And the Raptors, as a melee unit, they still have to be concerned about trading out their models a little bit more because they need to be in melee against the Terminators. And Terminators still do about 100 melee DPS as a squad overall with those Power Fists. So this should be a marked Chaos Space Marine squad at this point. Especially level 4 Tzeentch or level 4 Khorne Chaos Space Marines actually do an awesome amount of damage and would absolutely rip the Terminators apart. Swift, though, my guess is he's looking for another Tier 3 unit. So Swift will find the capture on RedRupee's natural, but RedRupee will take away Swift's natural with these backcapping scouts. Still a level 2 Bolter Scout Squad. Meanwhile, RedRupee, although he has lost 2 Plasma Attack Squads so far, he's still got this Plasma Gun Techmarine, which is going to do great amount of damage against many of Swift's squads. I think the only thing that's tough about it there is that there are too many targets that the Techmarine wants to target, and, you know, he can only put so much damage on one of them. In order, it's probably best for the Techmarine to focus on the Raptors, then the Chaos Space Marines. No, actually, I'd say Raptors, then the Terminators, then the Chaos Space Marines, because I honestly feel that the unmarked Chaos Space Marines just present relatively little threat by comparison. So RedRupee entertains the idea of another Predator, then he's going to get I'm starting new words here. Rid of it, I was going to say. Late game Assault Marines. That is... Okay, if it's late-game Assault Marines, the intention is probably Vanguard Veterans to put pressure on the Terminators, which are committed as ranged Terminators. I actually think this is pretty good. Pretty good. I'm not going to say, like, really great, because Vanguard Veterans still have to worry about things like They still have to worry about the Heretic Doom Blast. They'll still have to worry about the Raptors in melee. Vanguard Veterans should actually win head-to-head against Raptors, but it's going to be level 1 Vanguard Veterans against level 3 Raptors. And the Vanguard Veterans are more going to be focusing their attention on the Terminators, so the Raptors should be able to attack the Vanguard Veterans without necessarily being attacked in return. So yeah, it's going to be Vanguard Veterans. Yeah, I'd still say pretty good. Like, I do like it. I definitely don't dislike it. Ooh, and the teleport has also been committed, I believe, by the Terminators. I think that was them teleporting in. But the Vanguard Veterans targeting the Raptors first. The Raptors are getting pretty low, but so are the Vanguard Veterans, so the Vanguard Veterans won't have too much opportunity to actually put their damage pressure onto the Chaos Terminators there. Oh no, and yet another dead Techmarine. The Techmarine has gone down so many times. Meanwhile, the Terminators are in a completely different position for RedRupee. They're going to go in for melee against the Heretics. I don't actually think there's that much of an advantage for going into melee with the Terminators compared to going into range. They actually do about as much damage in ranged as they do in melee against the Heretic squad. Oh, it's going to be double Terminators. I wonder... Yes. It's going to be Lightning Claws on the other one. And Lightning Claws on the other one. I think that actually ends up countering the Vanguards in return. And we've actually already seen the Vanguards not even... I wasn't even completely 100% on board with it. Like I did say, I think it's pretty good. But now, with the Lightning Claw Terminators out on the field, I think the Vanguard Veterans are not that strong. Vanguard Veterans going for the range squad, but they realize they need to jump out of there because they just can't stand up to the damage of the melee Terminators. even if they turned and tried to fight the melee Terminators. Melee Terminators only at 40% of their hit points, but we're also seeing just desperate capping attempts in this late game. Backcapping scouts from RedRupee, going to find a double cap for him, and he's got a pretty strong victory point lead when he's actually been down in victory points for much of this game. The autocannon, what are they? They're Terminators, not Havocs. They're looking to finish off the Predator, but they might not get it. The blessing of the Omnissiah, especially with the Terminators not even targeting the Predator. They're going for the Vanguard veterans. So that's units thrown away. Ooh. I'm actually not liking how this is looking for Swift at this time. He's giving up so many models. Okay, he did put an Imperial Abyss in base, which I mostly missed, so I missed a nuke. But I think he only killed the Bolter Scouts, which is not that powerful at this point in the game, especially with Rupee. This is actually, I think at this moment, this is Rupee's game to lose. Like, if Rupee really wanted to, he could even just replace the Scouts. But if anything, you should probably get something else instead. Like, the most the Scouts could do would be, like, find a back cap, which is not bad at this point. And it looks like, yeah, Rupee actually looks like he's about to finish the game out here. Probably going to get a double cap. Raptor's going to jump into the Techmarine. Techmarine probably has Bionics ready, though. But he's going to get hit by the Raptor activated ability again. Before he can do that, Raptors, though, it's not looking good for them. They will lose a model. Yeah, I think RedRupee closes the game out here. I think the cap by the Techmarine on this victory point does finish the game for him. Yeah, definitely, absolutely. That will be it. RedRupee will take it in what was definitely a slobber knocker of a game. Not a clean game by any means. But, you know, entertaining nevertheless. Again, not trying to roast either of my boys right here. Swift did send in this replay. Hope you enjoyed it, and have a good night.